Hello fellow knobheads and beat people. I'm George, the Gentleman Rocker, and welcome to the 7th episode of Modular Monday. In this series, I want to show you my adventures into the modular world. DIY stuff, jamming on my setup, modules, hardware that I use, and even stuff I might not even think about right now. In this episode, we want to take a look at the Varigate 4 Plus from Malleko. It's a 4-row, 8-step sequencer which has a lot of possibilities to set it up the way you want. It can sequence 4 gate lines, 4 Cv lines, or 2 Cv and 2 gate lines. And in this video we briefly want to fly over the possibilities that you have with the setup. The Varigate 4 Plus is a 12 HP wide Eurorack module. It's 26 millimeters deep and it draws, let me have a look, 90 milliamp on the plus 12 volts, 13 milliamp on the minus 12 volt, and nothing on the 5 volts. As I said, it's a sequencer with 4 channels, each have 8 steps, and they can be set to gate, CV, or 2 gate and 2 CV. So you can sequence drums like I did in my IRA EFX patches video. You can sequence only CV stuff for filter movements, stuff like that. And you can use it in Cv&Gate mode, to trigger modules like the plaids and the hardest DIY. You can store your sequences in 4 banks or 4 patches, so you have 16 patches to choose from. Each gate can have a probability and a repeat set, and each CV a node value and a glide. Besides that, you have track settings like divides and multiplies, and you can set the length, the scale, and the sequencer playback mode for each of the tracks. You have a clock in and a clock out, but the clock also taps into the clock line in your Eurorack system, so you don't need to plug it in. So let's take a look at the module. As you can see, the 8 steps are represented with sliders. Under it you can choose your channels. On the right you select what to set up. Steps that have data stored light up. This way you see that there's data even after changing what you're setting up. I've set the Varigate 4 Plus to its 2 CV and 2 gate mode to trigger the hardest. So let's add some steps to play. Let's program some kind of arpeggiator maybe. And let's slow the CV down. This way we can use 8 notes played every second step. Now to add that a little bit up, let's add steps in between the ones and make them a low probability. This way the chances that they are triggered is very low. And then let's add step repeats to them, so if they are played, they trigger more than once per step. And keep in mind that the CV is taken from the other row, so it will always match our arpeggiator. With the LFO we can change the filter over time, and this way we have a living arpeggiator that is always changing but without getting too crazy. splitting the LFO and adding the LFO also to the pulse width, we have a really nice evolving and moving sound. So right now, running in the background, you hear the sequence we just built. It's running through the demora delay just to get him a little bit more depth and presence. And here I've set up my demora really quick that input 1 goes through the delay unit and input 2 directly goes to the output. So we have 2 ins, but only 1 gets affected. So the SEO2 is there to add some pumping bass to the arpeggiator. So let's have it playing every other step, like syncopated. Yeah, let's search for sound. SEO2 has a lot of presets, so we can just flick around as it's really big. It has a lot of stuff that you can set up, which is kind of overwhelming, at least for me, so I tend to just switch through presets. And yeah, when we find something that we like, just stay there. As you can hear, there might be some problems with the tuning, and I just can't tune stuff by ear. So my ears are not good enough. I guess my punk ears might be the source of that problem. But yeah, even if it's out of tune, you might get the idea, and I really need to get a module that, yeah, let me tune it. So let's get rid of the SEO2. You hear that it's possible to use that, and let's get the plates out and yeah, let's play some hi-hats. And adding some low probabilities to the steps in between and have higher repeats of them again makes for some nice hi-hats lines, and adding the CV out to the timbre makes them more, yeah, living sounding. So CV changes the pitch, which kind of feels wrong on hi-hats. So adding the CV to the timbre makes more sense here. And now we probably would just need a steady beat under it to make it really pop. But I'm out of sequencer lines. So yeah, fun. Next week we might probably, and that kind of turns into a running gag, might probably see the Mini Brute 2S in the studio. If not, I will find something else. Till then, I see you in the next video. Bye.